Nimrod Nra C2. The Nimrod Nra C2 was the only Group C racing car ever built by Nimrod Racing Automobiles in partnership with Aston Martin. It ran initially in 1982 in the World Endurance Championship before also joining the IMSA GT Championship. The final Nra/C2 would be retired in 1984 after the planned Nra/C3 replacement had been cancelled and the company went bankrupt. Development. Beginning in 1981, Robin Hamilton hastily constructed a chassis for use as a test vehicle in preparation for competition in the 1982 season. This lone car, known as Nra/Cone, was used to test design and mechanical features for the upcoming race car, the Nra/C2. For an engine, Aston Martin turned to their tuning arm Tickford for the development of a racing version of their production V8 engines seen in the V8 and V8 Vantage models. This engine, becoming known as Development Prototype 1229DP1229, retained the same basic displacement of 5,340 cc while being strengthened in order to handle the increased output. Eric Broadley of Lola Cars International designed the chassis of this new car, since he had experience already with the Aston Martin V8 engine fitted into the 1967 Lola 70. Since Lola constructed the basic tub, this earned it the designation T385, although Nra/C2 was the car's official name. The chassis was a simple, low design that featured a larger opening in the nose similar to an Aston Martin grille shape. Large side vents built into the doors would also be used. Ray Mallock would later evolve the Nra/C2's design into a B-spec model for the 1983 season. These modifications included squared-off front fenders, a thinner tail, and the removal of the vents in the doors. Small vertical exhaust vents would be added behind the front wheel well. Racing history. 1982. Debuting at the 1000 km of Silverstone, the two chassis were entered by Nimrod themselves, although only one actually raced. A third chassis that was also completed at the time had been sold to the owner of the Aston Martin Owners Club, John Donnay, who ran the Viscount Down racing team as a privateer entry. Viscount Down would be the more successful of the two as they finished in 6th place at Silverstone, 4th in the Group C class. This was followed by the team taking 7th place at the 24 Hours of Le Mans, again 4th in class. The factory team would take an 11th at Spa while Viscount Down would take 9th at Brands Hatch. These successes for both Nimrod and Viscount Down earned Nimrod and Aston Martin 3rd place in the World Endurance Championship for manufacturers. 1983. T3. For 1983, Nimrod Racing would turn to the IMSA GT Championship in North America with two cars evolved into the B-spec bodywork, while MK Racing would take over Aston Martin's efforts in Europe with their own Group C car. Viscount Down would remain in the World Endurance Championship with their lone entry as a privateer. Nimrod suffered throughout the season in North America, earning their only success as the 12 Hours of Sebring with a 5th place finish, 3rd in the GTP class. For the rest of the season, the Nra/C2 would struggle to finish and Nimrod was forced to abandon the series towards the end of the year. One Nra/C2 was sold to Jack Miller's privateer team while Nimrod returned to Europe. Miller's Performance Motorsports finished off the season with an 8th place finish at the Daytona finale. Even with the troubles, Aston Martin took 5th in the GTP Constructors' Championship. Upon returning to Europe, Nimrod Racing Automobiles was forced to close its doors due to financial troubles, ending the short life of the project. Privateer Viscount Down had a similarly bad season in the World Endurance Championship, with a 7th place result early in the season at Silverstone being their only race finish. Even with just one finish, Aston Martin Nimrod once again took 3rd in the makes title. 1984. Viscount Down would attempt to continue in the World Endurance Championship for 1984, even adding the last Nra/C2 chassis built before Nimrod folded. First appearing at the IMSA GT 24 Hours of Daytona, the team would manage 7th and 16th place finishes. However, upon returning to Europe, neither car would finish at Silverstone. For the 24 Hours of Le Mans, both Nimrods were eliminated in a single incident on the Mulsanne Straight, with John Sheldon hitting the barriers in the first car and Mark Olsen in the second car colliding with the wreckage. A track marshal was killed in the incident. Both cars were burned beyond repair, forcing Viscountdown to pull out of the championship and end the program. Jack Miller's Performance Motorsports would also attempt to continue in IMSA GT before it too would be abandoned, without a finish to its credit. Chassis. In total, 5 Nimrod chassis were built between 1981 and 1984. Included are a list of finishes by each chassis. Nra/Cone 1 completed 1981. Development car. Nra/C2 2 completed 1982. 1983 Daytona 3 hours 8. 1985 Lime Rock 2 hours 16th. 1985 Mid-Ohio 3 hours 15th. 1985 Columbus 4 hours 15th. Nra/C2 3 completed 1982. 1983 Miami GP 20th. 1983 Sebring 12 hours 5th. Nra/C2 4 completed 1982. 1982 BRDC Silverstone 6. 1982 Le Mans 24 hours 7th. 1982 BRS C Brands Hatch 9th. 1983 BRDC Silverstone 7. 1983 RAC Brands Hatch 3rd. 1984 Daytona 24 hours 16th. Nra/C2 5 completed 1984. 1984 Daytona 24 hours 7th. Nra/C3 6 not completed. Nra/C3. A new chassis had also been under development in 1983, known as Nra/C3. Only a chassis tub and basic wind tunnel testing had been completed before Nimrod Racing Automobiles was forced to close. This chassis, Nra/C3 6, is still in existence, but has never been fully built.